Thanks for tuning in. We're just going to jump right into it here today. We're going to be basically picking up where we left off. I wanted to give everybody kind of a quick reminder of what the last episode was about that we discussed when Aimee and I were discussing, how the situation that we're in this country, and we acknowledge that, like many people, that Canada should be thriving with everything that this country has going for it. There's absolutely no reason that we should be struggling. The only reason we're struggling is because the people who are managing it are doing a terrible job of it, whether it is through incompetence or sabotage. One way or another, we're being screwed by the people who are managing us.
Yes.
And those people specifically, what I mean, are the government and everyone influencing the government. So the government handles those things, and that's a very big, complex thing. But that means government, politicians, lobbyist groups, special interest groups, they all collectively come together to put us in a position where we're at, which is not remotely close to where we should be. And to anybody who commented on the last episode, thanks for doing so. And it was nice to see that people agree with us. Not that we're here to tell people what's going on. We're here to talk about what's going on.
Yeah. And we're also not here to take a political side, because for us, this is about stepping back from that distraction of the right and the left fighting and yelling at each other and not getting anywhere, because that's why we're in this problem.
That's right.
We're distracted with the back and forth while all these things are happening in our country.
That's right. The world is divided. I wish it wasn't, but it is. And we have to move past the point of pretending that we're not divided. And I think we also have to move past the point of pretending that we're going to be united. It's not going to happen. What I think needs to happen is that side, the left side, and the only way for us to refer to this is left and right. If somebody has a better way to refer to it, let me know. But those are two one-syllable words that makes talking about it very easy. Left and right. Okay? The people on the left don't give a shit about what the people on the right think about them. But the people on the right still give a shit for some reason about what the people on the left think about them, because the people on the left tell them that they should. I don't understand why we do that. It's time for us to say, too bad.
Yep.
You don't have to like it, but here's what we think. We're not coming together. People just have to get that through their head.
Yep. They just see the enemy as everyone who thinks differently than they do. And they all, for some reason, have to think the same. Right? Because in the Conservative Party, we all might have different variations of how things should go when we talk about it and we work it out.
Yes.
But the left seems to, it's like this way and no other way.
There's also another very important distinction between the left and the right, as far as I'm concerned. And that is that both the left and the right have their extremes. There is a far left and there is a far right. And the distinction between the two is we on the right acknowledge that there is a far right and we're not them.
No.
Okay?
Not at all.
Not even close, man. Those guys on the far right those aren't our people, man. Those are the equivalent of the far left, just at the other end of the spectrum. But now let's talk about the left. The distinction between left and right is that we on the right acknowledge that there is a far right, but we also clarify, but that's not us. And there's nothing we can do about that. We're not associated with them. It's a spectrum. We just happen to be standing on this side of what this made up center that we made, and we appear to be closer to the far right than to you guys. But that's not true. The rest of us who aren't on the far right, we have way more in common with the people on the left than we do with the far right. But the people on the far left, we don't have anything in common with them.
No.
And the people on the far left are evil, right? Like that's where the evil lies, the far left. And it's evil on the far right. Both ends of that spectrum is evil. But the distinction between conservatives and liberals with right and left is that the left doesn't even acknowledge that there is a far left. They don't use the terminology far left, and they don't acknowledge who the far left is. The far ends of the spectrum are the people who aren't using logic and reason and being rational and being sensible people with each other. In both cases, I don't want anything to do with those sides.
Yeah. Anyone who's not willing to even hear out the other side of the argument isn't worth listening to.
That's right.
Because you don't have all the answers.
And also, anyone who's not willing to have the conversation, to sit down and have the conversation and try to get to the bottom of it, or at least get to the point where you go, okay, we're going to have to agree to disagree at this point. This is where we don't agree.
Yep.
And if that's substantial enough for you to not want to associate with that person or whatever, then so be it. Mm-hmm. We are in a completely different world than those people. We're living in different realities.
We are.
Right?
Yep.
And my point of all this is we're not coming together. We're not coming back together. We're not going to be unified. This country is not going to unify from where it is now. What's going to happen is somebody's going to win, and somebody's going to lose.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. That's what it is. And right now, all of the people who are the actual real winners in life, the people who sit over, the real actual people who have to succeed because that's how they pay their bills, right? Their businesses have to succeed. They have to keep their job. They have to go to work, right? Because people are counting on them.
They have no safety net.
Including themselves, right? Including themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have no safety net, exactly like the last episode we talked about. They have no safety net. None of our problems should even be problems.
No.
Right? Like the people who know what they're doing could fix all of it. All of it. Just put the people who know what they're doing in charge. Find real people who know what they're doing and don't have ulterior motives and aren't in some way being manipulated. Put the real people in charge and task them with fixing what's broken. Bring people in who know how to run a business and do it from the bottom up. Have the actual real people, the actual middle class, working class people who know how to do things. Hire the best, most qualified versions of those people and then have it work its way up. Hire everybody based on merit and competency. Put the best people in the jobs at every level to the best of your abilities. Because you don't fix it from the top down. But the chance of like here in Canada for us to get super rich, powerful guy that's super strong in his convictions and he tells you what he's going to do and then he does it. And even if he's not that sophisticated about it, and even if he sounds like a nut job sometimes, everyone in this country is so brainwashed to hate Trump.
Yeah, I know.
Like
it's
real,
ridiculous.
regular people, regular guys, even guys that I play golf with on the job site, the guys the more blue collar guys, they're more Trump fans than the other guys.
You know what I find funny about Trump? You know, when you're in a room full of people and somebody will say something about Trump and then the normal reaction is for everyone to go, Trump.
I know. That's what I mean.
And I'm like, if you question most of those people in the room, because I've done it with some of my friends and they probably don't like me for this, but I'm like, why? Why do you shake your head and say, Trump?
Right.
I don't know. He's just bad. Like it's obvious brainwashing and people don't even recognize that.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's obvious brainwashing. You're talking about people who, but in many cases, you're talking about people who grew up literally being a Trump fan.
Yeah.
Watching his show, The Apprentice, if nothing else, just being aware of him and also being aware of the fact that he was somebody that everybody liked. At one point he was on Oprah, like talking about actually running for president or something like that. But anyway, the point is, this guy was like the guy that everybody liked and watched the shows and he did cameos and he was like an American success story. But as soon as he becomes a president, because of politics, 50% of the people, like half the people, hate him.
I know. You wouldn't think brainwashing would be so easy to happen because you would think if someone said, you know, you can easily be brainwashed, you'd be like, no way, no, definitely not. But you see it in the real world where you bring up a trigger word and then it's like, it's just a reaction. Everyone has that like thing where they're just like, oh.
Yeah. I know.
It's like, why is that your reaction? Because a lot of people don't know anything about Trump. I wonder.
Most people don't know anything about Trump.
But I wonder, can you bring up the list of like the top criticisms that Trump gets just so we can see if they're even true? Because what are people saying that the reason why they hate him so much? We refer to the president of the United States as Trump, and we refer to our own prime minister, as much as I do not agree with anything he does or says, because to me, I don't see him as somebody who is considering Canadians. I see somebody who's doing something for his own personal gain. That's what I see. But I also refer to my own prime minister as carny. and as his political opponent is Polyev. We need to be more respectful.
The question I asked was, what are the top reasons why people dislike Trump? And I said, I don't mean legitimate reasons necessarily. I just mean the reasons that Trump haters would tell you that they hate Trump, whether they're right or wrong. Like, what would they say are their reasons? Let's pretend anyone said to us, I hate Trump, and here's why.
Okay.
Okay. Let's just hear them out. Just let me hear them out. Here's what they're saying.
Okay.
He's a narcissist. He's rude, vulgar, and unpresidential. He's a bully. I agree with all those things. He's a narcissist. Yep. Well, being the president of the United States and owning an empire of business and real estate might make you a little full of yourself. They say he's rude, vulgar, and unpresidential. I agree 100%. He can be all those things. They say he's a bully. Also, I agree 100%. Right?
Yep.
But by the way, I want my president or prime minister to be a bully.
Yes.
When it comes to like looking out for us, you want a bully. People also say he's a liar. They cite his tendency to exaggerate or contradict himself. Now, I think Trump definitely has told some lies, like kind of.
He's a storyteller.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think he's a bullshitter.
Storyteller.
I think he's a bullshitter.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a liar. I think he's a bullshitter. And he likes telling stories, and he tells some bullshit stories. But nevertheless, you can call that what you want. So if you say he's a liar, I'll give it to you, but you have to tell me what he's lying about. Right now, we're just acknowledging what AI has told me is why people hate Trump.
Okay.
We're not necessarily saying we agree they should hate him, but we are saying whether or not we agree with that statement. Okay? He's corrupt. They'll mention his business dealings, lawsuits, and accusation of self-dealing. Well, to that one, nope. I've never seen him being corrupt. There's no sign of any corruption that I've seen. But one thing for sure is I've seen a number of examples where people have been told that he's corrupt, and these people simply have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. The land development thing with the bank suing him or whatever went on down there in New York, you can look that up however you want. I'm not going to get into it. What Trump did is what every developer does and every bank does, and that's how they do it. That's how the business is done. Nobody was wronged. That bank wants to always do business with him. Everybody wins. Like nobody, there's no victim. Nothing happened. Anyways, people say he's corrupt, and then they say he's a con man. The idea that he sells an image of success but leaves others holding the bag. Okay, well, he's a little more than an image of success. Again, he's the president, the two-time now president of the United States. And I think he's the only guy to not do his 2 terms consecutively. I think. Don't quote me on that, but either way, it certainly doesn't happen very often. I don't agree that he's a con man, and this thing that they give you as a reason is kind of bullshit. That he sells the image of success. He definitely is successful. I don't know what you're talking about. People also say that he's racist, sexist, and xenophobic. These labels are repeated constantly, often tied to comments he made. He's probably definitely made some comments that would be, by today's standards, would be considered racist or sexist or xenophobic. But I don't think he's any of those things. But
his actions in society and what he's done for different people would speak otherwise.
That's what I mean.
There would be people, obviously, of different ethnicity that would speak up for Trump and say no.
Anyways, that one, I'm not with you on that one because I haven't seen anything to actually that I would agree with you is a reason to call him that. Those seem like just labels, right? He emboldens extremists. People blame him for giving oxygen to white nationalists or conspiracy theorists. I don't know what you're talking about. You'd have to give me an example. If you give me an example of something where he's like pumping up some group that I think is too far right, then yeah, I'd say like, I don't know. Yeah, maybe he's a little too cozy with them. But again, I haven't seen that. I think that's probably bullshit. They say he's anti-immigrant. His border wall and rhetoric are framed as cruel and discriminatory. Well, that's fine. I don't have any problem with that anyway. I'm also anti-immigrant if immigration is damaging your country. Like it is here in this country. I'm not anti-immigrant, the person. I'm anti-bad immigration.
Yes.
Right? Which is what we have here in this country and what we've had for quite some time now. And it's one of the major reasons why the country is being destroyed.
That's another one of those brainwashing things. Like I see it in my own friends. They'll just be like, oh, immigration's good. It's good. We need it. And I'm like, well, why do we need it? I don't,
yes.
Right. It's just that's how people react, and they don't necessarily know exactly, but that's what they've been programmed
Yes.
by media and whatnot, that's how you have to think about that.
Those people that you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
They are on that team because they have been told that that's the good team. Like that's where the good guys are.
Mm-hmm.
Good people are on the left, the good people, the compassionate people, the empathetic people. And the message on the left is that immigration is great and we should be pro-immigration and multiculturalism is great. And it's not immigration's fault that people are lining up at food banks in record numbers. And it's just an illusion that when you go into places in your very community where you've grown up your whole life, it's just an illusion that most of the people working in your community in what used to be teenage jobs are now foreigners working here, in some cases as students. In some cases, they're here, temporary foreign workers. But regardless of why they're here, it doesn't really matter. You look around and you realize, what the just happened to man? Like literally overnight. It seemed like in a matter of COVID, from the time pre-COVID to now.
Yeah.
It's like, what just happened? There were already certain larger cities, like in Toronto, was already a melting pot of people, right? But it functioned like they weren't up there fighting with each other.
Or blocking the streets off to pray.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Or blocking the streets to pray, or waving flags from some other country and shouting and hollering at each other and screaming at Jewish people. And yeah, that's crazy, man. It's crazy to me that people think that people have themselves convinced that like it being pro-immigration and basically defending it at all costs is what the good guys do. So that's what they do. But they couldn't give you one reason why they're defending it or promoting it or making excuses for immigrant crime. Like, for instance, can you imagine if we went back in 1995 and on the evening news, they were talking about how crime was increasing and they were showing pictures of people that clearly weren't from our country? People would be losing their minds. But the media doesn't report it. And more importantly, society has been conditioned to somehow not trust their instincts and to somehow start to feel bad for the victims to now be made to feel bad for the perpetrator, like to the people who are breaking the law.
Yeah.
Because they're less fortunate than we are or whatever it is. But you have to keep them separate from society.
Yes.
So they don't attack people and steal from you and break into your house in the middle of the night and shoot each other over nothing and have gang wars in the streets and all that shit. You have to keep those people out of your society.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We're now letting them in our society and we're having these crimes that we never had before. And the police come on and tell us, well, listen, if you're faced with that horrible situation of somebody, can you imagine breaking into your home in the middle of the night? You wake up, complete darkness, and there's grown men in your home with masks on and guns. The advice from the police is to just do whatever they tell you.
Yeah, that's nice.
Right?
Yeah.
Just obey. And or really, if you want to be proactive about it, just leave your keys up by the door so they can just come in the house, grab the keys, get your car, and take off. And then maybe they won't kill you on their way out. Like, that's the message that the police are saying.
Yeah.
The people locally in real life should be absolutely losing their minds over that on their police department. Again, you guys work for us.
Yeah.
And there are laws and you're not enforcing them. We're not asking you to make new laws. We're saying enforce the laws that exist and protect us. And if that's the state of the world, that the likelihood of your home getting broken into is a real thing now. The likelihood of burglary in the middle of the night is a real thing in your community. And so the cops are giving you advice on how to deal with this new level of crime that you've never experienced before. Well, then you got real problems in the community where you live. There
always will be a proportion of the people, I don't know what the percentage is, that will not comply with society. That
of course not.
Will go out of its way. They're out of their way to create chaos and to harm people.
That's right.
So we can't just keep forgiving them.
No.
They're not going to grow up. They're not going to have an epiphany and like, oh, after 10 crimes, they keep letting me out. Maybe I should do better. That's not how they operate.
No.
And we have to stop deluding ourselves about that.
There's a certain type of person that is willing to physically harm another person to take something from them or whatever. Most of the people that you meet here in this part of the world where we live, You don't run into people like that. You don't interact with people like that. But those people are out there. And like when they come in from other countries and you don't know anything about these people and you just land them all in the streets, in amongst those people are some of these nut jobs who will do anything to advance their position, whether that means money or something, you have something they want, or they just like hurting people.
Yeah. And the laws like they are right now for criminals, especially ones that are from different places, they basically have a green card here to go for it.
That's right.
We keep forgiving them.
That's right. Anyway, I got really off track there. But maybe this time when we edit this episode, we actually shouldn't cut out this way off track stuff that we do. Because I don't know, maybe people want to listen to it. You won't know until you try.
Exactly.
You won't know until we give it a whirl. I think I was still talking about Trump.
Okay, let's bring it back in.
If I come back to Trump, I was talking about why people don't like him.
Yep.
I got through the last one, which was he's anti-immigrant.
Okay.
And then it was he's destroying democracy. Many say he's authoritarian, especially after January 6th. Well, again, that's just like, it's going to be a matter of opinion. And smart people don't think that. But I know that some people out there think that, but I've never talked to anybody who I think is smart, who thinks that Trump is responsible for January 6th, other than they recognize that it's like, it was his fans, like his people, but Trump's not responsible for that. Like,
no, but
it's not something that he
convenient.
orchestrated. They say he doesn't respect institutions. There are complaints about him attacking the media, FBI, or courts. Yeah, well, I definitely don't have a problem with that part. I agree. I don't think it's that he doesn't respect institutions. I think it's that he knows there's problems within these institutions and he's willing to call it out and do something about it. So not with you on that one. Some people say he embarrasses America. They see him as a global joke, lowering the country's reputation abroad. Now, there probably is some truth to that because the media portrays him so terribly that if you tell people to think he's like, that's exactly what happens here in this country. So in this country, everybody hates Trump because the media tells us to hate him. I think the tariffs are the only thing that you could possibly have a problem with, right? But our side hasn't done anything to try to negotiate that or make that any better. As a matter of fact, we've done a number of things to make it worse. Because again, coming back to what we said, these guys are terrible at their jobs. They are terrible at managing anything. And they're very ridiculously terrible at managing Trump. Their whole game plan is to avoid at all costs dealing with Trump and then tell Canadians that it's not important that we deal with Trump and he's mean. And so we should just ignore him and move on and find new friends.
So they're basically scared of Trump.
They're scared to death of him. They're scared to death of him. Well, of course they are. Why? And it's so stupid too, because Trump is not like Trump's not Putin or whatever his nuts is over there in China or whatever. Like these guys, he's not these like stoic kind of mean, don't talk to me. If you say the wrong thing to me, I'll have you killed type guy. That's not what he is. He's like a clown. He's a carry-on clown talking about shit. And he's the easiest personality in the world to deal with. Anybody who deals with relationships and personalities and so on a regular basis. So anybody out there who's like a salesperson who has different clients or contractors that they deal with, probably anybody that is out there in the like sub-trade business or supplier business. And you have these different personality types of, say, the contractors or business owners that you have to deal with. And one of those personality types is going to be that big feeling guy that he likes to talk about himself and he's likes to pump his own tires. But you're on the same page. You want the same thing. You both want each other to succeed, but he's going to have to win, right? But as long as he feels like he's winning, you're going to be winning. Because he's not trying to squash you. He just wants to be the alpha male. You just got to let him have that. And I'm talking like when it comes to just like conversations. I'm not saying every time you see the guy, you got to kiss the ring. I'm just saying if something comes up and there's a discrepancy of some kind or, there's an issue, you're going to have to let him have it. But you have to recognize that he's your number one customer and he's loyal to you. And he'll take care of you. And if anybody with you, he will step on them because he needs you, right? So just kiss his ass and build the relationship and keep it where it is and just let him just pump his tires and let him think that you think he's great. But instead, and that doesn't mean doing anything, but that doesn't mean like becoming the 51st state. That means just do business, play ball, right? Yeah. All Trump wants to do is make a deal. I mean, he literally wrote a book about making deals. Yeah. He wrote the book about it, right? I mean, oh my God, he's like the easiest personality type to deal with because he wants to succeed, but he knows that you have to succeed along with him if you're reliant on each other like that. If your businesses rely on each other, you both have to succeed.
Yeah. But
kiss his ass and tell him he's great, but then tell him what you need for it to make sense and make sure that the deal makes sense for you and be respectful about how you talk to him. But at the same time, recognize that he's in charge, man. He's in charge. They're 10 times the size of us. We need them. It's not even as simple as we need them more than they need us. It's like this. We cannot survive without them. They don't need us.
Yeah.
They are much better off with us, but they definitely do not need us. Also, in probably like the stroke of a pen, Trump could probably do something completely legal that would literally end our economy. The sheer leverage of the relationship that we have between these two countries, from a business perspective, I don't know the politics and government part of it, like the lawfulness of it and international law and that kind of shit. But from a business perspective, like real world, what it would mean to real people with jobs, I'm willing to bet that Trump could do something very easily and lawfully that could happen quickly, that he could literally probably destroy our country economically. And the most we could do to them is piss them off. And then we started by doing that. Carney got elected and they went to, let's piss them off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the last thing we wanted to do is the only thing we actually did. But let me finish up what they were saying about Trump. They say he acts like a dictator. And there are comparisons from between him and strong men like Putin. The next one was people say he's dangerous. And it says that's a catch-all way of saying they feel the country isn't safe with him. And then other people say the last thing was that he is cult-like. They discussed not just him, but the devotion of his supporters.
I looked up what the strongman thing is.
Yeah.
It's controls a country with power, often by force or intimidation.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's what I mean. Like he uses strong man tactics, strong arm tactics. In short, Trump's haters' reasons usually revolve around his personality, his tone, and the symbolic way he represents America, not specific policies or economic results. And ultimately, after we went through all that huge list of things that I would say in most cases, I even agreed with people, wouldn't you say? I'd say I agreed to most of those. So yeah, I can see what you're saying there. That makes sense. And there were some that I would say, I would agree with you if you can show me something that I haven't yet seen because I haven't seen anything to support that. And some of them were stupid. Right?
But none of those would...
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, even the things that we agree with, even though I agree with what you're saying, that doesn't mean I agree that you should hate him because of it. Right? And proving my point, the way this thing summarized it, I didn't even ask it to do this, but did you see how it worded it? It said, in short, Trump's haters' reasons usually revolve around his personality, his tone, and the symbolic way he represents America, not specific policies or economic results. So exactly what we're talking about. They don't have any logical, rational reason to dislike him insofar as it is related to the job that he is supposed to be doing. They just don't like what he says. So they just, right?
Yeah.
They just don't like how he says it. They just don't like what he says. They just don't like his tone. So that's what I'm saying. You have there's a whole group of people that are not just in disagreement with Trump, but they hate him. They actually hate him, right?
Yeah.
Because
and
the reason they hate him
yeah.
is not because of his specific policies or economic results, i.e., the things he's supposed to be responsible for. They hate him because of his personality and his tone and the symbolic way he represents America. It has nothing to do with the results. They're like, can you just do it more politely? And then in this country, it's the opposite. In this country, we have not just the current guy, but the party that's been in power the last 10 years, that have been in power simply because half of the people in the country just like them. They just like looking at them. They like how they talk. They think they are diplomatic enough. They think they are polished enough. They're polite enough. That's all they care about. Yeah. And they don't have even any idea what this person's policies are. They have no idea what they even voted for. As a matter of fact, the policies that they've been putting in place have just been the conservative policies. Mm-hmm. But most of those people who voted for them are actually conservative people anyway. They just vote liberal. But anyway, this is all comes back to sort of what we were talking about here. Yeah. Somehow, I wonder if I could tie this all together to where we started this conversation. We're at a point where you have to do more than talk about it. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean we have to. I'm just saying the collective we, are going to have to start getting things going, or it's just going to continue in the direction it's going. There's no reason to think that it's going to turn around. Mm-hmm. And then that's a big conversation, because you think about all the things going on in the media, like the new laws and rules and confiscating our guns and Bill C-8 and taking our internet away if they don't like what we say on it. Like those things that are happening. Mm-hmm. They're really happening. And it's all exactly happening like everyone said it was going to happen. Yeah. And they wrote books about how it was going to happen, and it's literally happening exactly that way.
People have forecasted, yeah.
Yeah, and we all see it happening. So it's kind of like, well, then aren't we supposed to be doing something about it?
Mm-hmm. Organizing.
Yeah, you're going to need people who are willing to like try to fix it. Mm-hmm. You have to fix it through politics, but I don't want to get into politics. That's where it has to happen. But we don't have to fix it through politics. Like you could do something else. To do things like this, you have to organize people, and then you have to build something. You have to have a vision for what it is that you want to build. Then you have to know who it is that you're going to need to do that. And then you got to find the right people and build it. But somebody has to make sure that it's coming together. Like everyone's working toward the same goal, and we all work with the same vision. It's coming that direction. If you're trying to put together an organization like this, normally I would say in most cases, you'd probably have some people who already know one another. Mm-hmm. And they kind of say, okay, you guys, we should do this, right? Mm-hmm. And maybe it's 2 people, maybe it's 4 people, whatever, but it's probably not very often like one person. People are just going to have to like get connected working toward the goal of putting it together. But it's a task. We're not going to talk about this on every episode of the show, but the underlying theme is that, and in many ways, the underlying motivation for which we're even doing this, mm-hmm. is that we recognize that things need to change. There's stuff that has to change here. And I'm not suggesting for one second that we are the people who are going to do that.
Or have the answers.
Yeah. And I'm also, I'm not suggesting we have the answers by any means. I'm also not suggesting we're the people that are going to initiate the change, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to be the face of anything, if you know what I mean. We're talking about a group that would recognize and acknowledge these certain values and principles that would be considered conservative or traditional values. Mm-hmm. And these things that like many of us just kind of take for granted. I feel like we shouldn't even have to talk about this stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's gone so far that like it's gone too far. You can't, we're at a point where we have to actively start organizing ourselves, because it's like, we are going to get trounced here. That's what's happening. We're getting run over. The government is, I don't care about liberal versus conservative government politics stuff. What I'm saying is the trajectory we're on is bad news.
Mm-hmm. It is.
But more importantly, what I started saying from the beginning is, and there's absolutely no reason for that. So I don't say that like as a doom and gloom pessimistic thing. I say that like, that's definitely what's happening, but there's no reason for it, because we have everything we need to not be like that. Mm-hmm. The reason we're like that is because we're being managed to be that way, whether it's through incompetence or through like direct and purposeful mismanagement. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, I just want to clarify it for somebody who might not have necessarily seen the previous video.
Sure.
Just if you're talking about an organization putting people together these days, it would make people nervous if you know.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, that's right. We should clarify that.
I just don't want to,
Yeah, no, I'm talking about an organization that is like, again, I feel like it's an organization that shouldn't even have to exist, but it needs to exist now, like out of necessity. It has to, we have to start sticking up for ourselves. That's as sophisticated as it is. It's a group that has to come from the grassroots bottom up.
The working and middle class.
Yeah. It's not about politics. It's about wherever that goes. But we're talking about just to clarify, so people don't think we're like nut jobs trying to put together, rally some, what do you call it? Protest or something like that. That's not what we're doing.
No, not at all.
I'm talking about an organization here locally, for like where we are, that would be similar to have similar values to these conservative movements like Turning Point USA. This is their mission statement, and I think it would be something similar. Turning Point USA is a nonprofit organization founded in 2012 by Charlie Kirk. The organization's mission is to identify, educate, train, and organize students to promote the principles of fiscal responsibility, free markets, and limited government. What are conservative values? I'm not defining this myself. I just asked AI to tell me, okay? I want to make sure that what I'm referring to as conservative values, I want to make sure that it can be articulated properly, and I still agree with it. Let's see if we agree with this, okay? 1, individual responsibility, limited government, free markets and economic freedom, traditional values and culture, rule of law and order, national pride and sovereignty, skepticism of radical change, and personal freedoms. At its core, conservatism is about preserving what works: family, faith, freedom, responsibility, while resisting government expansion and cultural overreach. So there you have it. One way or another, a group that basically agrees with that, right? It would be an organization that is going to be about communicating with people, organizing people, educating people, and if things went well, hopefully someday you would have something to do with representing those people. Like I said earlier, we're divided and there's two sides, right? And the sides aren't going to come together.
No.
And so we're at a point where we're going to have to, at the very least, fight for our side, right? And in order to do that, we're going to have to start getting organized. So we're going to need some people that can do something, right?
Yep.
Anyway, it's weird. It's not like I can tell you one thing. It's not something that I'm trying to put together because I'm looking to be in charge or be managing something, because that's not what I'm looking to do. I'm not looking to be the face of this organization. Obviously, at the outset, there could be times where it's like there's kind of nobody else to really talk about it. But again, I can't stress enough how immediate that first person is. Like it doesn't happen until that person exists. And it has to be somebody who I can literally say, listen, I have this place where you can work. It's a very comfortable facility where you can come work. And you have access to the things that you need here to do the job. But I don't know what to tell you how to do it. Like you have to know how to do it. In this case, it would be like trying to start a restaurant. And if I said, okay, I have the physical place and I've built the restaurant.
You need the chef.
I have the place where you can do it. Yeah. I'm like, I need a chef.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what type of food we're going to serve here. But I need a chef. I hope we can edit this into something usable, man. This seems like it was a really long conversation.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Yeah. Okay, so anybody still listening, thanks for doing so. If you haven't already done so, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.